Myanmar is a war-torn nation that borders Thailand. Formerly named Burma, Myanmar has been ruled by an oppressive military regime for the past 20 years. The country is made up of many people groups who are fighting for their independence from the central government. Because of this decades-long war, many boys are forced to become soldiers at the age of 8. Our team heard their stories and longed to help. But crossing the border isn't easy. Foreigners are often restricted access, and if they are permitted to cross, their stay is short. Each contact they make will be under police surveillance and sometimes interrogated. Despite these difficulties, our team crossed the bridge from Thailand to Myanmar.
When I crossed over the bridge to get into Myanmar, and when I stepped my foot into the country, I just felt this heaviness and almost like a hopelessness came over me.
It was such a blatant change, in fact probably the most blatant change like that I've ever experienced in my life, of crossing from one place to another.
And I also, all of a sudden, felt irrational fear. I don't know why.
The country has a lot of civil war going on, and so I think part of me was a little bit anxious and wondering what exactly to expect. Are there going to be gunshots outside my window? Are we going to have to be undercover the whole time?
The government just doesn't give them anything. They don't even let them go from one side of Myanmar to the other without interrogating them.
And I felt like there's no one living there. It felt like a zombie city.
There was a prophecy, a Buddhist prophecy over it, that it would be a thriving Buddhist nation. And so everywhere we went, there was a lot of Buddhism and temples and monk worship.
It felt like we were to share with them the story of Moses and how he delivered Israel from Egypt, and how this paralleled what God was wanting to do for their hill tribes from the oppressive government.
We started singing the song, Pharaoh, Pharaoh. I don't know if I should do it the Canadian way or the American way now. There's two ways. Oh baby, let my people go. Ooh, ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. And let my people go is kind of a big deal in Burma, Myanmar, because well, they didn't really let their people go.
Near the end of our performance though, Miriam came up to us and said, "Hurry, hurry, we have to leave." We had no idea what was happening, but she said, "The government's out looking for us."
And we're like, oh my goodness, what's going on? My heart starts racing. I'm like, what's happening,
And so we had 2 big bags of gifts for the children, like toothpaste, soap, candy, shampoo.
And so we started handing them out like super fast. We're like, all right, let's go, 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 hand them out. And we just start going. We're like, what's happening? We just hear all these, everybody's kind of whispering to each other. There's military officials, who are coming after us, and oh, they had guns. All these, funny stories are circulating. I'm like, what is going on? And I'm, kind of nervous. I'm like, are they chasing us? It actually puts the people that we were with in danger, so I'm super nervous right now, and I just keep praying to God. I'm like, God, please protect these people. Please protect Miriam and the staff people there and all the children there. And that night, before we all went to bed, we just went to God with the whole situation. And, in the morning, I was afraid to wake up because I was so afraid of hearing news that Miriam was interrogated and tortured or something like that. So I could barely sleep because I was just so nervous.
The next morning, we were exhausted and worried for Miriam. When she walked into the hotel room, we breathed a huge sigh of relief. She was safe. Over the next 10 days, we spent a lot of time with Miriam. We traveled to 4 different orphanages that she has started all across Myanmar. She's rescued kids who have had a cleft palate. She's rescued kids who would have become child soldiers or would have been trafficked. Families started bringing their young sons who are about to be forced to become child soldiers. And as these kids came to her, she decided to start a ministry called In My Father's House, because she wanted to emulate what she had seen her father do, and also to show these kids the love of her Father in heaven. I realized that no matter how dark any nation is, there's still hope. Here was Miriam. She'd rescued 400 children all by herself, and I wondered what could happen if more of us lived with such abandon.